Yeah,
you can't go to court looking like Sideshow Bob, bro. You gotta at least button up a little bit, bro.
No, I ain't button. This is what I look like. This is what my money look like. Welcome to a rainy Sunday on the East Coast. I don't know how my guest co-host's weather is over there in Arizona. And how the weather is out there.
It's all right. Well, shoot, it's 105.
105. Damn. Yeah, we have a
5
rainy
p.m.
day right now. Yeah, we got a little
5 p.m.
But man, let the people know who is Rufus Mic, man. How did you come with the name Rufus Mic, man?
Well, my first name is Michael, and my
me too.
Middle name.
My middle name is Michael.
Okay, and my middle name is Rufus.
Okay.
And I was named after my grandfather. His name was Rufus. And but if you notice how I spell Mike is like a microphone versus Mike. So I reverse it, and because I'll be all over the stage, so I figured like the mic is mine. So so Rufus Mike.
So what made you want to start this journey of comedy, man?
It's kind of a little bit of a long story, but I wanted to get into motivational speaking, which I still am trying to do, but it's really hard for me to get on stage. It's really hard for me to find avenues to speak, to kind of, I guess, give my perspective for speak. So I figured I can do open mics, and that's a way for me to get on stage. And so I do kind of like motivational comedy a little bit, you know what I mean? But that was the best way for me to get on stage. So I just stuck with it. And it all happened to do motivational speeches because I kind of started seeing the world different. And I kind of started looking at, I guess, like the way I was perceived. And then I started looking at motivational stuff. And I was like, I think a lot of stuff that they say. So I was like, I wasn't really impressed a lot. So I was like, you know what, let me try that. I think that'd be kind of good. And I like motivating people, you know what I mean? But I didn't know, and I still kind of don't know how to get on stage to speak, to motivate people that's not doing comedy. So that's why I do comedy. that's why I got started off.
Did you try the avenue of TikTok and do like motivational shorts in the beginning, or do you think about that avenue?
You know what? I did. I put like some motivational quotes on like another page that I have on it's called Quotes by Indecisive on Instagram. So I started doing that, but I kind of like fell off of it because I was trying to do so many things. So I kind of just fell off, and the comedy was it was just more easy for me to kind of pursue because I can do sign up for open mics. I can, sometimes a host will hit me up, or you know what I mean. So it was just a little bit easier to do, to kind of get going, to kind of put myself out there. I think it was the easiest route for me. I think it's working out the best for me. I was asking you the same question too, actually. I don't know if that's how it goes.
Oh, well, go ahead. What you want to ask me?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the same thing, man. Like, how'd you get started? Because I know you do this, and I looked at some of your podcast episodes. I saw the Father's Day one and a couple of different ones, and the Revenge of the Nerds too. I kind of watched a little bit of that, and I know you do podcasts, and I was going to ask you, like, how do you do both? Because it's hard for me to do like music and do stand up, and it's kind of hard for me to kind of focus on one thing at a time. So I don't think I give 100%. But you seem like you do the podcast good, and I see some of your stand-ups. So shoot, share.
It's just a timetable. I do podcasting on Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's about it. Like I got my days in line of when I'm gonna do podcasting and when I'm not gonna do podcasting. Tuesday and Wednesday.
So you organize.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday normally my open mics. And that's how I got it organized. Some days I only do like one mic. Like this week, since it's about to be the 4th, on Thursday, I'm gonna be off on the 4th, so I'm gonna go to an open mic on Wednesday.
Okay, so, I'll probably do like 2 this week. I'm gonna try to do like 2 or 3 this week myself. But I'm getting more organized, but I didn't think of that way to do it.
Yeah, I think
try to separate the
content,
separate the three actually, and kind of I wasn't doing that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, content creating is a major part of also just for exposure. I feel like, you know what I mean. If somebody see me on a short,
yeah,
they gonna look on my page and say, "Dang, he do comedy too," or I put like a wild thumbnail. Like, what is this man got Mario, 2 BBWs in the pipe? What is this video right here? So, like,
yeah.
I always grew up with the idea of like real brash and bold, colorful videos. I remember watching those with Busta Rhymes. Everybody remember Busta Rhymes music videos.
Yeah,
it was so colorful, and he packaged it right where people had to check the video out. You know what I mean? Him and Ludacris,
yeah,
Missy Elliott.
yeah, for sure.
See you on a visual, and for people to know, like, is Rod really like this? You know what I mean? So it's important too. I feel like I just seen like a lot of comedians doing like podcasts. I already had a podcast 4 years prior. You know what I mean? So I think it's important for people to get to know you offside the stage too, just a little bit. Not crazy, like be with some real world, real world TV, reality TV show, nothing crazy like that, but just a little glimpse.
Yeah, yeah. You think would you say it's something just your opinion? Because you've been doing both longer than I have, comedy and obviously podcast. Would you say it's something that most comics should do, in your opinion? Like, because I think about podcasts, everybody does, obviously, but would you think it's something that everybody should kind of pursue to kind of get themselves out there more, or just a good avenue to kind of, or what do you think?
All the big dogs got one. You know what I mean? All the big dogs got one. You know what I mean? From Kevin Hart, from Joe Rogan, from countless Bill Bellamy. You know what I mean? All the vets got podcasts.
Hold on, real quick. All right. My bad, man.
You good? Yeah, all the vets got podcasts. Just you know what I mean, to show a glimpse. Andrew Schultz, just countless people with podcasts. You know what I mean? Tom Joyner was the very first one to have comedians on his morning show. I remember Tom Joyner.
Yeah, for sure.
A radio station. Yeah. Tom Joyner used to have that cruise. He used to have all them comedians with him in the morning. Steve Harvey got comedians on it. So this podcasting it's always been an avenue for comedians, I feel like, man. Like the ones I know locally got podcasts too, where they talk. I talk like a little bit barbershop sports sometimes in mine where I might have. Yeah, I might do that, or I
see some. I've seen a couple of your clips.
Yeah, I might do that, or I might just speak how I feel, because I feel like this comedy helped me because I had like a mental fog from my childhood, losing my mom at a young age, and just overall just traumatic things, and I never healed on it, and I feel like it's funny to talk about it now. It helps me out.
It's your outlet then.
It's definitely an outlet.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, shoot, keep that up. You inspire me, that's for sure. I don't, because I'll do this and trying to speak motivationally too, and sometimes I don't know like where to go and how much effort I'll put into this and then that. Like I'll have just an example. I need some books I have, like, because I'll just like write, and sometimes I don't know where what goes what. You know what I mean? Like if it should be part of a motivational speech, if it should be like in a song, or it should be like poetry, or if it should. Or with some things, I'll just throw it into my comedy set. Like I'll have some stuff in there. I'm like, wait a minute, it's pretty funny, and I'll kind of like switch it up and write it in a way where it's funny now. You know what I mean? But sometimes I don't know the avenue to go. You know what I mean? Direction to go.
Yeah.
That's
and it's like the biggest part is right now. I'm liking it so much. Like when I'm at work, like ideas come in my mind. I'm like, damn, let me hurry up, run to the bathroom real quick and write something down, because this could be possibly, you know what I mean, a joke. I guess he froze. I'm gonna wait. Oh shit. He definitely be back. He's gonna click the link back, but yeah, definitely therapeutic. We'll see what he's doing. There he is. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess you froze or something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
I forgot what we was talking about.
I think you were saying
therapeutic. Yeah, it's definitely been therapeutic. I went through a nasty divorce.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, I went through a nasty divorce at the early age of my 20s. I got remarried, so I talk about that a lot of times. You know what I mean? Creating a split household. There's a lot of
I heard the
my jokes.
I've seen the Father's Day one. I've seen the Father's Day one.
Yeah, and it, you know what I mean? It's funny, but it's true. Like, I mean, not even for Black fathers, but fathers in general. There's no representation on TV when it comes to Father's Day. Not even for the white man. You know what I mean? I just sound like Farrakhan or not, but the white man don't even get no Father's Day commercials. Dad, I'm glad. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Little boy handing his dad a sandwich or something, a soda. I appreciate you while he cutting the grass. You don't gotta be that deep, but we don't got that respect. You know what I mean? We don't see that on TV. Like, and the things we did see, Bill Cosby, you know what I mean? His legacy tarnished, you know what I mean? So we don't even got that. The American Dad thing is totally dead when it comes to TV and entertainment.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. But that was the journey though. That's what you're going through right now.
Oh no, I'm married to my new wife. My wife.
Yeah.
I got married in my 20s. You know what I mean? I got remarried again. You know, so I definitely talk about that.
Well, congrats.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to happen. God saved me from myself.
You know? We never know what's going to happen till it does.
You never know.
Yeah,
but it's definitely to talk about that. It's a lot of people going with, you know what I mean. When you're in an environment of low housing and the ghetto, you look at a certain type, at a picture in a certain type of way. So you broaden your horizons out and travel the world. Things are madly different. You experience different things, you know what I mean? I never thought about having a passport till I got with my wife. I didn't think you could travel like that, international like that.
You say you never thought about what?
Travel international.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I never thought about it. I thought about just going to Atlantic City. You know what I mean? As far as we see Vegas, you know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah. Go to Georgia, go to Miami. Like, Going to Puerto Rico like people do when they get the child support money and the tax money. You know what I mean? You don't really think about. You don't really see the world bigger than that. You know what I mean?
It doesn't occur to people usually that it's even a possibility. It's like, you know what, I can do this too. I can do that too. There are no rules to life, really. Just you do whatever you want. That's why you do comedy and you're a podcaster. You know what I mean? You do whatever you want. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel you on that for sure.
But yeah, the motivation talking with you should keep on trying to pursue that, man, because like I tell everybody, I'm Trey off of Boys in the Hood. I have a dad, right? But people don't got the guidance of putting life in these young brothers' life. You know what I mean? There's some kind words, digesting some kind words definitely can help your day out. You know what I mean? Some kind words, some life words, it definitely can help your day when you change the negative thoughts and the words you put out in the atmosphere. It definitely can change your life.
Sure. I plan to, man. I might talk to you a little bit afterwards as well, but that's kind of my only thing because I really, really do like comedy like a lot. It's a lot of fun, and it's good. It's fun to share your perspective, kind of see how people take it. But I really want to get into that motivational speaking space. That's what I like truly, truly want to do. And comedy's kind of second, but it just so happened. That's just how I was going. You know what I mean? But it'll happen. Just a matter of time. Just you know how it is. Just keep putting the work in and keep doing what you're supposed to do, and it's only going to happen in a matter of time. You know what I mean? What's your end goal? What's your intention?
My end goal is definitely to still do comedy. I started late, 30, about to be 32. You know what I mean? My life is so interesting. There's so many crazy chapters. I try to be an MMA fighter. That didn't work out. You know what I mean? I had a lot of tribulations. I wasn't taking the training serious. I was drinking. You know what I mean? Hitting them fucking some zigzag weed. You know what I mean? Just be honest with you, zigzags and you know what I mean. I was trying to be Mike Tyson, minus the work. Mike had to work. He already built the work on. He had to work to build on it. You know what I mean? From a young buck, so he can be lazy. I didn't have that work and hours in to be lazy like that. So that didn't work out. Yeah. You can't beat Kid Dynamite without putting the work in. So I did MMA for a little bit.
Do that?
Huh?
You still trying to do that?
Oh fuck! MMA? Nah, man. I got gout now, man. I ain't trying to fight nobody. I ain't fighting nobody at 32 years old.
Oh man,
I'm a black hair now. I'm calling the cops when you talking about fighting, man. I'm not tough no more.
Oh man, what made you want to get into that though? Of all the things,
my mom used to let me. You know what I mean? I used to watch old Bruce Lee movies, right? You know what I mean? I'm born in the 90s, but I used to still watch Bruce Lee movies on cassette, and I used to always love Bruce Lee. I used to love doing his little fucking stretches and shit, looking crazy, looking like a nut ass nigga. I used to watch that, Jackie Chan, you know what I mean, shit like that.
Makes sense.
So
I was on wrestling more when I was young. Me and my cousins, we was on wrestling.
Yeah, we used to do that in the yard though.
Yeah.
make a fake mat and shit like that. But,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, my end goal is definitely to keep on doing live podcasts. Hopefully, I can have a live podcast tour / comedy. I want to do that, man. Yeah, I want to do that.
Boom. I want to do I don't want to throw it all out there, but I want to do something like that. It's gonna cost me. It's gonna cost me a little bit, but I want to do something like kind of like a tour like that too. I'm gonna try to do it just like in California, Arizona, Vegas. I'm gonna try to put something together like that. It's gonna be a little minute, but I gotta hone my craft a little bit. I'm still a rookie, you know what I mean? I just started a couple months ago. I probably only did it that was probably like my 8th time doing it, 9th time last week, something like that. So I haven't done it a whole lot, you know what I mean? But
I'm about to be only
say again?
4 months. I think next month be 4 months for me.
Okay.
You bombed yet? Huh?
You bombed yet?
I feel like I did, but it's hard. I say this: the rooms are different, right? I feel like black people's sense of humor is different from
very much
white people's sense of humor, right? So I got a lot of edgy. My name is Rod Uncensored, so that my name is what it is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I got a lot of edgy shit where it comes to play on domestic violence, and I had a joke where people didn't think it was funny. I had a joke about Tina Turner and Ike saying down to from heaven, hey, what? Hey, Tina, you see that? You got worse than that, Tina. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just playing like that. So people get a little salty like that. I have a joke about OJ where I talk about taking my baby mom out jokingly. You know what I mean? So I have edgy jokes where people don't find it funny, but I find it funny.
Yeah,
So
for sure. I think the unfairness behind that is I think you have to make a big name for yourself before you go that route. I think I have some really controversial stuff too that I haven't said yet. But I think once you grow and like build and you build that following, like a big following, because think of how Dave Chappelle says anything. You saw his last one. He talked about somebody bent over at a party. You know what I mean? Like you can't say that when you first start out. You know what I mean? Some stuff you just can't. So, in my opinion, I think when you get controversial like that and get real edgy, I think it usually works when you like build like some crazy following. That's just my perspective. What I see, kind of what I see. I know some people are doing like really good in the comedy space. They usually have a huge following. Like you go on stage with no shirt on and you can go talk about anything. You know, once you get that following. But then when you do that, then everybody's on your side. You know what I mean? That's it's kind of what I've noticed whenever I see really edgy comics. I kind of notice that. You know what I mean? You notice anything like that? Or
it's a lot of it's a lot of sectors which I didn't really know about. Like it's like a lot of on the local scene out here in the DMV area. Man, you know me. I do some in Delaware, but it's definitely a lot of masturbation jokes, right? It's a lot of masturbation jokes, sex jokes are like king locally, right? And then it's self-aware jokes like making fun of somebody being fat, you know what I mean? Self-deprecating jokes, you know, and edgy jokes, you know what I mean? Like it's countless genres, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, it's you know what I mean. Like how did you feel when you got on the stage for the first time, man?
Crazy nervous, but I kept telling myself I was going to do it and nothing was going to stop me. So I kind of kept that in my mind more. So I was able to. The first time, the very first time I did it, it was at kind of like a bigger venue, and I was like super nervous. So I forgot a lot of my lines. I had to skip over stuff, and I kind of skipped over stuff, and I was like saying things out of place, and I wasn't saying the joke right, but it still went okay though because I said other stuff that kept the crowd engaged. But I was nervous. Actually, to be honest with you, I still get nervous every time I do it. But once I get to the stage, it goes away. Because I'll be like, last week I did stand up live and I was nervous backstage, but I was cool at the same time. I was nervous, and if Robin said my name, my nerves just went away, and that's kind of how it happens. I'll be driving into the venue, I'll be kind of nervous, and then I'll be cool for a minute. Then when I get there, the nerves will kick in, they'll go away, and then
Hey, do you ever get like the nervous piss? I get the nervous piss.
No, I haven't had that. I'll just be nervous backstage where we kind of rumbling. Then I'll start thinking about what I'm doing. Like, okay, I'll just tell myself like, this is excitement. Like, this is exciting. This is exciting. This is exciting. So I turn that to excitement, and I go on stage. And then once I see the crowd, and I usually come with like a joke at the beginning just to kind of warm them up, and then I'll be cool after that.
So do you have anybody that you go by like sometimes I get on my wife's nerves. I'm like, babe, what you think about this? It's just too much. Sometimes I do that, or I got some homeboys at my job like, yo, what you think about this? Right.
I don't. You know what?
It's like freestyle. I feel like when you freestyle like a song. Like, yo, what you think about this? I don't give the whole meat and potatoes, but I give them the plot.
Well, I'll put it like this. I write a lot of one-liners. Like I probably got a good 100 and some one-liners. like a lot.
No,
I'll go
that's
over.
creative.
Yeah,
That's hard.
I go to her with one-liners just to get a good laugh to see what she say. But when I go over to like a skit or like, babe, I'm gonna say this right here, blah 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 blah, and this I'm gonna say this, and I know it'd be funny because it'll land, but sometimes she won't see it the same way because she sees things different than I do, so she won't see it. But my one-liner she'll see all the time. Like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Like that's a good one. But other than that, I don't really have anybody that I go over things with. Like I don't have like that no big like support system like that. Why my boys like, hey, check this out at work, and I don't have that.
So,
I wish I did. Shoot, man.
what is your ritual for your writing process? I know a lot of people use the phone. Are you like a paper guy? Do you like to speak it in the
Um,
phone? Like, what is your writing process?
ah, shoot. Well, you know what's weird is that I'll think of a situation, and for some reason, I mean, you probably do the same way, where like I'll think of a situation, and for some reason, the funniest thing will happen in that situation, and that'll be my joke. Like if I went here, did this or that, and then I'll think of funny things that will possibly happen in that circumstance. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, wow, that's pretty funny. Then I'll just add to it. And I try to put jokes within the jokes too, kind of go from there. But I'll write stuff like in my phone if I'm away from home and I need to remember it bad. But some stuff I know that I'll remember, and when I get home, I'll put it in my computer or I might write it down. But a lot of times I'll write things and I'll write it in a way where it connects to something else that I try to create a set like that too.
Have you ever
So
have you ever changed the words on stage? Like,
you know what? I I did by mistake and messed it up. But I think once I did because of the crowd, and I had to change. I had to like use an audience member, like, "Hey, you live in Surprise? You live where I live at?" And I kind of ran off of that. I've done something like that before. That's fun. That's fun.
and that's I came up with one of my joke like that because I was like, man, like people complain. Sometimes people like beg for sex when they're in a relationship. I came with like a joke where I talk about PTO from putting like PTO in. Like, damn, babe, I'm tired. I came up with that joke on the humbug because men don't talk about
Oh, what? What?
they tired.
We say came with a joke on what again? I'm sorry.
Off the humbug when I came on stage one
Oh,
time
okay.
at an open mic, I was talking about, damn, I'm tired. You know what I mean? Because women always joke like that. I'm tired. I don't want it tonight. So I made a joke off that. I play off words and use that in my set, and that
Yeah,
shit worked.
that's
And I
solid.
just came out that out the blue, just looking at people. And my biggest thing in the beginning
I like
was
that.
uh getting through the storm of quietness, right? Like not being hard on myself about the open mic. I'm not getting paid
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. Don't get hard.
It's just practice. It's like doing community service. You just get practice and you're gonna be bettering your skills and see going back to the board and say, damn, I gotta change these words up. Like I did
Yeah,
a joke the other day where I rewrote my joke and came back the next week and redid it. I was doing like Kill Tony style. Like every week I was doing an open mic. I made another joke, and then I make another joke. But I said, man, let me start rewriting this because I like these premises. Like
yeah,
I like these
yeah.
premises. Like I had a joke where I talked about uh, my wife going to sleep on Father's Day, and I wanted some yams or something. So I told him I had, man, I beat off pause to Love on the Spectrum, and
Yeah,
and,
I saw that one. I watched that one.
and that got a chuckle. I said, man, let me just throw something out the wall. I saw it on Netflix. I said, let me throw that, see what they feel about that.
That was aggressive.
So
That was aggressive.
you know what I mean.
That was
So
aggressive.
I like to just try things out there. I feel like my game is like a street baller. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Yeah.
carry a little bit, but it's still at the end of the day, it's still basketball.
Just don't double dribble. They gonna call
Yeah.
that. You can't get back. You better get away with a travel or carry. You ain't get away with a double dribble. That's for sure.
So like what are some pre-games for you on stage? Are you like a soda guy before you on the stage?
gotta have I gotta have water, and I take water on stage with me. So if you may see like my videos, I always have a cup, but it's always water because I'll get my throat will get dry backstage, my mouth will get real dry. And the first time I went on stage was doing some spoken word, some poetry, and I was
Mhm.
like, dang, I couldn't even get through it. And I was like, never again. I gotta have me some water before I go on stage. So I take water up.
Do you take cards up there? I know a lot of people take cards up there just to remember. They take a little
Nah, you know
card and
what?
list.
You know what? You know what's funny? Like 2 weeks ago, I was out in Gilbert, like an hour away, and I wanted to practice some one-liners. So I had them in my phone, and I went on stage on my phone. My damn phone died. So I went out to the car. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, okay, they're in my pocket. So I had them written out in my pocket, and the crowd laughed at it because I made it into a joke like, here I am looking at everybody else with their notes and stuff with them, and look at them, yeah, whatever. And then here I am, my phone died. So it kind of turned into a joke, and that put on my paper, and that kind of went off my paper. So I did like 10 one-liners, and they all landed. Yeah, so it turned out good.
So how's the Arizona scene? How did you find your open mics you went to the first time and just countless open mics? Did you use Facebook? What did you use to find the
It
scene
was
in Arizona?
it wasn't Facebook actually. It wasn't Facebook actually. It was this site where they showed all what open mics are. But there's more. There's some gatekeepers out here. There really are, because there's more mics out here that I don't be knowing where they are until they're done. Like I'll see people doing comedy, and then they'll say what they did, like a competition in here, and they did something last night I had no clue of. So it's more out here. I'm gonna find them.
It's definitely in. I realized this. This is my early 4 months. It's a lot of comedy clicks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I
it's a
get it
lot
for
of
sure,
comedy clicks,
for sure,
and
for sure.
you gotta like it's like a lot of politics when it comes to comedy, where you gotta really look it out and like use your words kindly. And I just go do my open mic and mind my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk to people to talk to me, but there's definitely clicks like that.
Yeah, I noticed that. I know. I experienced that probably like the second time I did it. I kind of was like, wait a minute. Like, I said a similar joke that the joke was actually better. It was a joke. I think it was a joke about like doing like laundry or something. And somebody had something similar, and then I went up and I just happened to have a joke similar to it, and mine was way funny. Like the whole place was just busting up laughing, but the comics weren't. It don't bother me. It would just I just kind of noticed it. Okay, I see that. That's it. But yeah, it exists. It exists.
Definitely exists. Um, and now I got my own thing, man. I'm surprised, like just by posting your set. Sometimes it's definitely can be the hate, but I laugh at it. It's a gift and a courage to post your sets on social media because there's
Yeah,
some wild comments gonna come off them. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
from I noticed it, but like again, I enjoy the process, man. It's definitely helped me out really mentally doing this comedy once a week or 2 times a week when I can.
yeah. How you think you're doing? Do you think you're doing good? Do you think you're right on track where you're supposed to be?
For 4 months, I think I get better every week. But I definitely got to work on make my punchlines, put my punchlines and tell them, or you know what I mean, say them where people can understand them and
Yeah,
stop going so fast. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's good just to slow punch them and then take a pause. Like I talked to a lot of vets who like, yo, if you left it a little more and you just took a little second, the pause right there so we can understand it. Um, and I think that's my biggest problem is rushing joke to joke. I gotta let it
me
breathe for a
too.
little bit.
Me too. If you record this stuff, I spoke to a comedian recently. He was telling me I should record myself. But luckily, the place recorded it for me. But I watched it like probably I watched it quite a few times, and I speak too fast too, man. I do. So sometimes I practice and try not to speak as fast, but it's hard because that's who I am by nature. I speak fast. That's my thing. Because I even came out on my last one where before I even can finish my sentence up, I was like, how y'all do? Before I even finished my sentence of saying how y'all doing, I went to like the next statement. I was like, how y'all doing? I need y'all to do. I went to the next thing, and I did that a couple times. And I had a joke. I had a joke about and some of the last stand-up that I just did. You probably didn't see it because I need to send like the whole file. But I said that I would come here all the time, and I said you would never. I said I would look nice. I'd be looking fresh. I'd be looking good. I said you would never know I had a 500 credit score like that, right? And everybody busted like it was a good joke, right? And I was like, and the joke was supposed to be like how are you going to have 500 on the kicks and with a match of 500 Equifax, like 500 transunion or something, right? But it didn't land. And I was like, nah, that should have landed, especially if you know what TransUnion Equifax is. So when I looked at the video, I was like, I said, how are you gonna have a 500 credit score at a 500 Equifax? So I said the same thing twice, and I realized that's why it didn't land. So ever since then, I've been trying to talk slower. So the stuff I go over now that I've been writing over probably the last week, like I wrote a couple sets over the last week. I'm trying to like write them in a way where I can't. That's something you could probably do too. Is I try to write them in a way where like the ending of a sentence can't be like a run on, where like I have to like gather my words to say the sentence. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but like I don't say anything like that ends with a vowel that can, you know what I mean? If I can end with a vowel, then it can be good because I kind of flow on. If that makes sense. But that's something you can do too, and that's something that's kind of been helping me over this last week, helping me talk slower. But that's huge. That's huge. I did a set for like my mom's birthday party, and I was talking like way too fast. I didn't need to see it. I was talking way too fast, and I was kind of rushing through it, and I didn't understand like the audience. It was the wrong audience for what I was saying, and I was just going too fast. And that's what helped me first was slowing down. But now the stuff I have written now is kind of a lot better. Hopefully, we'll see this week. We'll see this week.
Yeah, and that's the game plan because you like, damn, I messed this set up. Like you rewatch it. I like to listen to my stuff in the morning before I go to work. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I messed this set up. I could have slowed it down. Like my edgy things, like my abortion joke. I had a joke where I was talking about my friend that he needed help. He didn't want to have a kid, but I rushed it and I had left so much meat on there. I couldn't talk. Like I was trying to do it like do you remember Damien by DMX?
Yeah. On the first
I was
album.
trying to do it like that, but it didn't land like that. Where I'm talking on the phone and talking to my man about how he's gonna get rid of his baby. So I had all
edge, you know what I mean? The edge for real.
I talked about, man, I told him, hey man, you can go to the fair and go do bumper cars. You know what I mean?
That's like a million followers joke.
Yeah, that definitely is. You know what I mean? And then, but the white people loved it. Like the white people, the white crowd loved it. And then I had a joke where people don't know about Ray Carew. He was I'm sorry, I got silence. Yeah, Ray Carew. He was a famous football player that got his baby mom killed, but the baby survived. So I joked about that, and people was like, you know what I mean? So at the end of it, I talk about. Remember the 90s. Remember the 90s when anthrax was real big.
Yeah.
The war on mail was real big. The post service was scared to open mail. So I end my joke with saying the lady died from anthrax. But the white crowd, they loved that shit. They was like, man, you could have hit some more on that shit. The black people was like, ooh, right, that's too dark. That's North Korea dark. You know what I mean? So they was really messing with it, but I love some meat. I love a lot of meat on it.
Those are big following jokes. Chappelle could say that.
You know he definitely could.
Yeah. Well, it's not even got to be good. I think you got to have a big following. That's you know what I mean? You got to be decent with a big following because they're gonna love you regardless. You know, I mean, if you got a big following, they're gonna love you regardless. You know what I mean? You even got to be even great. You know, you see comedians with huge followings that aren't that funny. You know what I mean?
But I give people credit because it's definitely a hard thing in the thrill, and sometimes I come off the stage, I feel like I'm high. You know what I mean? Not like I smoked anything, but I get high off going on the stage and performing, and it feels really good to even put your feet on the stage and just say some words. You know what I mean? And get a chuckle. Sometimes you don't get a chuckle. Damn, I gotta rewrite it. But it definitely use your mind and help your mental health. Definitely help my podcast because people look at it. My real good ones, people comment like, "Damn, you got balls on you, like Stallone." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would never try to do some shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's definitely.
Do you think a joke is bad because it don't land? And also, do you think that just because some people didn't laugh, it didn't land?
I guess because I'm young going, man. I feel like
Your
it's some
opinion.
stuff. It's some stuff that I kept like. Like that abortion joke. I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back to it and rewrite it. You know what I mean? But sometimes shit don't land. Like I had a joke where I had to talk about the Baltimore Zoo. That
Yeah.
shit did not land. It had one funny joke in it. I talked about a fucking zebra spray painted. It was really a donkey. Like that didn't get a laugh. I talked about a lion having alopecia. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
And the monkey and the lion being 150 pounds. This stuff didn't land. But the only part that land where I was talked about a monkey throwing a rock at a pregnant monkey's stomach. That's the only thing that got a laugh out of it. You know what I mean? And I said, man, monkeys believe in pro-choice too. Like
you,
that got a laugh, but that was the end of the joke. So it was all dry air from the bing, 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 bing. I'm like, man.
yeah. You
But
probably
the ladies, the vet said, yo, that premise is wild. I never heard a premise like that, but that joke is definitely you need to rewrite it. So
yeah.
I get
It
feedback
also
at my open mics.
Yeah, I wouldn't toss anything really because if it's funny to you, it's gonna be funny to an audience. You just gotta.
Mhm.
I think with like really edgy jokes, because I think of really edgy jokes too myself, like really controversial stuff, and I'll say it to my wife. She'd be like, "Ooh," but it'd be like really good funny stuff. But a lot of times, what I'll try to do, I try to make it like really soft. I try to soften the blow, but just mention it. You know what I mean? Like I will mention something like you said, but just soften it, like make it really soft, just so you can mention it, but people will find the humor in it, but may not look at the darkness of it, like your delivery, how you deliver in the dark. They might not, I guess, peep your delivery of it, but they'll still peep the joke itself. You know what I mean?
I feel
That's
like
what
my
I think is better.
self-deprecating jokes hit more than my controversial jokes. I feel
Oh yeah,
like
for
what's
sure,
in the crowd.
for
Like I had a
sure.
joke about my stomach, like because I drink a
Yeah,
lot of beer. I drink a lot of
yeah,
beer and
yeah,
have a stomach. That shit
yeah,
lands. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
the real edgy, like
Those
I
are
said,
fun
the edgy
too.
stuff. I enjoy it. Like I've been getting joked on about my nose since I was probably a young kid. I call it the Michael Jackson before he got the money nose. You know what I mean? So things like that,
Those
I'm
are
okay
fun.
with self-deprecating on and joke about.
Yeah, me too. Same with me. I got quite a bit of those. Even when I talk about like the whole credit thing, I'll that'd be fine. It's fun. Crowds love it. I guess you appear human too. You appear more human. I would say that's a good thing because even what we've been talking about so far, there's been little nuggets in there, especially a lot of stuff you're saying. But I would say that's a nugget too. Is to kind of realize that. You know what I mean? When you go on stage and you talk about yourself, that can help somebody, like a new comic coming up, that can help somebody like start doing it. If that's like one of the first things you write, in my opinion, if that's one of the first things you write,
Yeah.
self-deprecating stuff, and throw that out there, that's gonna audiences eat that up. And once you hear those laughs or you hear that energy from the crowd, see them smiling faces, it's like it like releases you.
I feel
You know
like
how it is. You can do
it's
it.
needed because it's only so many TK Kirkland's gonna be able to grab his dick paws on the stadium. I feel like you gotta have some ace in the hole. Like my uncle used to say, you gotta have an ace in the hole.
Who said that?
And my uncle always used to say, you
Oh,
gotta have an ace in the hole. You know, you gotta
yeah.
always have a backup plan. You know what I mean? So recently, I tried to have. I've been writing a joke down. I'm writing for Tuesday. I'm gonna make sure the punch is in the beginning. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
could set the
that's cool.
stage. You know what I mean? So I could get at
That's
least a
cool.
chuckle and slow my thing down, like Paul Wall slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Typical
yeah,
full four slow. You know what I mean? So I think that's important.
for For sure. That could work. I recently just did that too. I had an ending that I was using. I used it a couple times and it landed real good each time. But recently I was like, man, this is actually pretty good. But recently, yesterday actually, I wrote a whole joke out of it, like a whole 4-minute set out of it. You know what I mean? That's gonna do something too. Like whenever something that seems, to me, in my opinion, like my experience is whenever it seems like something is not gonna work, or if it doesn't work, like I don't know. I don't know what it is in me. I gotta find a way to make it work. So I try to, I'm pretty sure you do the same thing, but I try to find a different angles to make the joke work. You know what I mean? You try that, you do that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I try my best, like to. I'm trying to put callbacks in my stuff too.
Yeah.
Where I know it's like a easy laugh to have a callback in your jokes, right?
Mm.
So I've been trying to write that to them, a callback, two times callback in my joke, so I can work on that too. But I'm enjoying the process. Again, I don't have unrealistic goals. I don't have a goal. If I don't be Dave Chappelle opener by May 25, I quit. I don't got unrealistic goals, right? So
What is the goal then? What's the aim? What's like the full intention? What do you expect to be?
um, maybe next year to get on a couple local things, but nothing really crazy. I'm not
Why
trying
not
to.
crazy? Why not? Why? I'm probably the wrong person to talk to with any kind of self doubt. I'm very much.
Not self doubt, but
Oh, okay. I'm the
if
wrong
I can
person.
get the line drive and get some people on base or move
Yeah.
some people on the base, I'm gonna take that instead of taking the swing for the fence. I'm okay with
Okay.
the baby steps right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Okay.
getting at.
Baby steps. Okay. What is swinging for the fences? What's your opinion? What's your definition of that?
Uh, I got a really addictive personality, so I'm uh where it is right now, where I have still time for my household. That's why I'm
Yeah.
not trying to get too a homosexual, be a homosexual and go crazy and quit my job and I'm gonna do it full
Yeah.
time. I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But I'm taking these baby steps. Hopefully, I can get seen soon, and I'm gonna start back working, going some other places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gradually go up. You know what I mean? If I get a 1% better every week, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Okay. And what's that? I don't mean to turn the interview around, but what's that going to look like? With you being 1% better every day, what's that going to look like? What does that ending
Hopefully,
look like?
polish.
Say it again.
Hopefully, polish.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Now,
my set polish.
what's your idea of polish? What does a polished comedian do? What is a polished comedian's life like? Like, name a polished comedian.
Like I
Just
don't
name
want
one.
like I don't want to get Kevin Hart big, right?
Why not?
If I can get like Torre where I can still be, because I don't want to be paranoid. I got a lot of people with mental health issues, like
Okay.
on both my sides,
Yeah.
and the to have the money, the begging will come. You know what I mean? And the guilt. You know what I mean? That's why I want to.
Boundaries. Boundaries.
Yeah. So that's what makes me nervous. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? My wife jokingly
Don't put
said,
your goals on the back burner for what you don't even know what's really going to happen in the
yeah,
future. Like that
yeah,
ain't even guaranteed to happen in
yeah,
the future, but your goals are guaranteed to happen. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So don't put like your goals on the back burner because of what might happen. You know,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You can't do that.
Yeah.
I got to talk to you later, man.
Yeah,
We got
so
to chat.
maybe travel in an RV with my wife. You know, what I mean, my wife said I got to have an RV with her so we can go city to city. You know, what I mean,
Yeah,
she want to be. She said she got to travel with me.
yeah. And she want to go backstage with you too, right?
You know what I mean, because my old Harley ways. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
so so that's not an option. So
I got you.
so
Now you
but yeah,
gotta.
man.
Now you got. I don't. You can't sell yourself short, man. You put in all this work. I seen all the work you put in on YouTube, on social media. You doing this podcast. You making things happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't. I hate to be typical and say you didn't come this far to come this far, but
Yes.
it's just the truth. You didn't. This ain't the ending. You know what I mean? This ain't the, like, you're not gonna end like, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Back in the day, I remember I stopped doing comedy because I didn't want to swing for the fences. Like, say that to yourself in the mirror. You know what I mean? I stopped doing comedy because I didn't want to swing for the fences. I wanted a line drive. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to sound different to you in a little bit. Right now, it sounds adequate, I guess, to appease you. You know what I mean? But
exactly
in time,
why
you're gonna feel like that. That's
exactly
for
why I
sure.
made my circle smaller, and that's why I feel like
Good
mainly in
start.
my younger days, I wanted it to be in the mix,
Yeah,
right?
everybody
And when
do.
you're not in the mix, they like to throw that weird word and make you feel uncomfortable when you're not in the mix.
Yeah,
And now, part of my life being 31, about to be 32, I'm okay with just coming home, watching TV, watching the Laker game, watching, you know what I mean, being home. I used to have to be on the move 7 days out of the week and go only home at night, you know what I mean, in my younger days. So, but you get to the level where you're like, man, what do I got to show for spend all this money on getting other people drunk, getting all, you know what I mean, make sure everybody else good. But what is Rod good? That's the whole
right,
thing.
right. And is Rod good? That's the question.
I'm good
That's
right
the
now,
question.
you know what I mean? My mental's A1 right now, you know what I mean? But everybody goes through spells of not good mental. And I feel like
Yeah,
we gotta really tap in with people and just check on them, make sure, hey, you
for
good?
sure.
I feel like it don't cost nothing just to say, hey, how you doing? You
It
know what I mean?
doesn't.
Even if you know, me run across people, even people, I get service from restaurants. Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Because you don't know what somebody going through, man. The suicide rate is crazy right now. So you definitely got to make sure people, just human beings, doing all right. At least get some encouragement to build off of.
Definitely. For sure.
That's a lot of it too, man. There's a lot of comedians that committed suicide too. So they got on drug addiction, so you gotta make sure the mental is right, man.
For
From the
sure.
fame,
You got
fame is crazy.
you open up a can of worms with me, man. You sitting there talking. Like I said, I'm the wrong person to say you to be even like semi doubt or to not think you can go for like everything. At any point in my life, I was the wrong person to talk like that to. But you gotta,
Damn.
if you think you could do something, you could do it. It's just pretty much that.
Before we get out of here, where did you learn that from?
What do you mean?
Who gave you the knowledge of, hey, nothing's too big to keep on trying your best at?
You know what? I've always felt that anybody can do anything they wanted, but I didn't up until about 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I didn't fully understand myself fully to really know what I was capable of, what other people are capable of. Because I was always one, and I still am. And it's really a curse. There's a gift and a curse. Is that I pretty much only see the best in people. Like you can be criminal, but for some reason I'm seeing like how good of a comedian you can be. You know what I mean? Like I only see the best in people. That's how I view people. So what comes with that is like all the
There's
great things that
definitely a
are possible.
curse on that too, because
You know what I mean? Say
you
it
put
again?
sometimes you put yourself in a disadvantage because people want to see.
Oh, I
Oh,
know. I
Rufus is a.
know. Very much know that.
You know what I mean? Some
Sure.
people, you know what I mean. You play with a lie enough, you're gonna eventually get bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's my downfall. I don't do it as much, but I still see people that way. But I have just a little bit more of a broader perspective of everything than I did before. You know what I
And
mean?
I feel like
But that's
that
all me though.
that happens with women too. Sometimes women can smell that shit a mile away, and we
Yeah.
get to the point of, Ray ain't gonna do that to me. You know what I mean? You ever had
Yeah,
that with your family? Your
for
wife
sure.
smelled
Oh
it a mile away. Like, man, how
God.
does she know this shit, man? Like, is this motherfucker got a magic school bus? What's going on with her? Like,
For sure.
but man, Rufus, I appreciate you, man, coming on. I'm sorry, man, I had a sinus infection today.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you trying to do things. You giving me some exposure and you kind of doing what you're doing too. So I appreciate it as well. More than you know. I really, really appreciate it.
Keep on doing your thing, man. Hopefully, you know what I mean. You find a place where you do your motivation speaking, but man, make a YouTube right now. Whenever you got time, you got 5 minutes, 3 minutes, record it, upload it on your phone. You ever have time when you're coming from the gym, go get in the car, say some daily words and post it on YouTube and put motivation
right.
speaking hashtag or something.
I'm gonna do that. You swing for the fences.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Can I leave you with something though?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you're gonna ask me that, but just to anybody, I'm pretty sure like the intention behind this is try to motivate people and kind of inspire people as well. If you're trying to do something, if it's comedy, whatever it is like you're not gonna reach happiness if you're not doing what makes you happy. Simple as that. Like, if you're not doing what makes you happy, how can you reach happiness? Like, it's about the metrics that don't even make sense. You know what I mean? So just go for it. Another thing I want to say too, when it comes to comedy, is that if anybody wants to, hope people watching, is that people are much nicer than you think, and people don't go to a comedy show to laugh at you or to hope you fail or to hope you bomb. People go to a comedy show to hopefully get some laughs and have a good time. So if you happen to not be good, don't look at it as you failed. Look at it as like feedback. That's what I did. Like, I had like I said, did my mom's birthday party. I did terrible, but I took all that with me. And I did one like probably 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago, where 2 jokes didn't land I thought would, and I just went back and kind of perfected them. You know what I mean? So it's not as bad as you would think. When you get on that stage, people want you to make them laugh. If you don't, they're not going to hold it against you. They're going to go back and live their life. They're not thinking about you anymore. They're just like, hey, man, he probably needs to do this. But they're always going to give you respect and give you credit for even going on stage, which is something that most people don't want to do. So it's nowhere near as bad. I'm pretty sure you know that. You've been on stage. You know what it is. Crowds are not like, there's not like hecklers everywhere. And
nobody gonna throw no tomatoes at you.
Yeah, it was a heckler last week to the host. I promise you, I was backstage in the green room, and the guy came backstage and talked to the host. Like, hey man, I didn't mean to do that. He's like, it's all good. Like, people are nowhere near. Like, the things that you cringe about, or the things that you like worry about, like what happened, or what if I don't do this? None of that's gonna happen. Like, none of it. You know that. I'm pretty sure you can kind of vouch for that. For that.
Yeah, it's definitely is the thing. I said that's definitely is right, man. Like, nobody's gonna throw no tomatoes at you. Nobody gonna be disrespectful. You at the end of the day, you do your little 4 minutes. You know, the one I go to give feedback and like that.
All you do is learn. You're not gonna fail. You're just gonna learn. You're gonna go. You fall on your face. Okay. Worst case scenario. Next time you do it, you fall on your face less. Then it get to a point where you're not falling on your face at all. You know what I mean? Just like anything else, that first step is, and you can do it. You know what I mean? Anybody can. You can do whatever you want. That's a promise.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? Not to put the age limit cap on you either, man.
Yeah.
Don't put the ageism on you either, man. You still can chase your dream.
I'm gonna be 46 in like 4 months.
Yeah.
Look how late I started. I rap too. You know what I'm saying? You see my page, I produce, I make beats too. You're not telling me nothing. You know, you can do whatever you want. That's when we say you're 32. I'm like, man, oh my gosh, I wish I was 32 with where I'm at now mentally. Oh my goodness. But it ain't too late.
Right, never too late.
Yeah.
But again, man, make sure you check out Rufus Mic on Instagram. Let the people know what other socials you have, man.
I only have Instagram right now. I have a TikTok I don't really use. And I have Facebook obviously, but I'm gonna start putting myself out there more. That's how you saw my information on the page. I'm trying to put myself out there a little bit more to kind of align with what I'm actually doing outside. So I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna start my TikTok and my YouTube, and you go swing for the fence.
And it's been another episode of Rod Uncensored, man. Come check me out. Next week I should put some more shorts out. Check out Midday Sports with Rod on tomorrow. Come check me out. I'm gonna talk about the nepotism and people hating on LeBron and Bronny. I have that tomorrow. Check that out. And it's just like that, man. I'm still gonna try to work on my FUPA, but I'm not gonna use the Ozempic shot. It is what it is, man. Also, I'm still the BBM of the world. And we're out.
Do it.